Alex.
Hi.
So tell me, what's your research PhD topic about?
So I'm doing PhD in welfare law,
Okay.
and the topic tackles the legal rights and access to justice for older immigrants and immigrants with dementia in Finland.
Mm-hmm. But how will you address this topic?
So my research primarily is based on qualitative interviews. So I'm doing interviews with 3 different groups of people. First group is the older immigrants. Second is immigrants with dementia. And the third is people who work with and offer services to these 2 groups, the older immigrants and immigrants with dementia.
The other thing is why you want this third group. Because in some way I see that you plan to ask to those immigrants and immigrants with dementia what's their situation, but why the point of interviewing the people who takes care of them?
Why to interview those who take care of them?
Yeah.
You mean those who offer services to them?
Yes.
Because
I guess they take care of them.
yeah, they do. Yeah, mainly because the input of these people is very important, because they encounter immigrants every day. They deal with immigrants every day. But that's not only the reason. But also it's important to look at both perspectives. How the staff, how these social workers and healthcare staff how do they treat immigrants? Like, what could be the barrier that makes them hesitant to offer services to these immigrants? So it's important to know their input. And also the other side, what do immigrants think? So that's why both are very important, yeah.
Did you find any difficulties finding participants for your study?
Yeah, sure, actually. It was really difficult to find participants because, I moved here about a year ago in a few months, so I don't have a big network. I mean, recently I got few, but it was really challenging to find participants, especially the interviews with immigrants targets immigrants who speak Arabic. And this is for practical reasons, conducting the interviews in Arabic, because I speak Arabic and it will be really beneficial for the immigrants that they can speak their own native language, they can elaborate on the subject and talk about stuff.
Natural way.
And we don't need to involve translators, and interpreters. And that means less resources to be used, less time, and also it could be more comfortable for immigrants that we are only 2, for example, involved in the interview, not many people, interpreters from here and others. So in that way, yeah.
More intimate.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really nice.
Yeah. Of course, the research is open to conduct interviews with other people, like who speak other languages. But this has been also challenging. The plan was to interview 30 people, but I got now 23 interviewees with the help of my supervisors and the non-governmental organizations that offer services to these immigrants. It's been feasible to get some participants, but also after interviewing few participants, I got some participants through them with the snowballing technique.
That's right, yeah. Are you just making one interview per person, or you plan to do several ones?
For each person,
Yes.
I interview them once.
Once.
It takes around an hour
Okay.
maximum.
Okay. And for each group, I guess you have different questions. Like it's different interview with immigrants with dementia from those who have no dementia?
To some extent, but they are different, of course, when I speak with social workers and healthcare staff, because their perspective is different, yes.
Okay.
But in all the interviews, the 3 themes are tackled: care and support, stigma, and autonomy and self-determination.
So what have been the challenges for these different groups when seeking for care and support here in Finland?
If you don't speak Finnish, your chances of getting the care and support you want are low. But English, of course, can help you. The majority speak English, but immigrants do not speak English, so that's the issue.
Yeah.
We're talking about older immigrants with dementia. So mainly they speak their own native language. Some of them reach the point where they spoke some Finnish, but still, language alone, also if you know the language, that doesn't mean you will be guaranteed that, okay, I'm getting what I want, I'm getting the services I want, because some of the other challenges are self-efficiency, like knowing where to go, for example.
Yeah.
It's a new society, new system. We don't know things, so this is challenging. And also the IT skills. Again, older people, it can be challenging for them. And here, Finland, it's a very digital country.
Definitely.
So you can't really do things the traditional way. You could maybe call, but again, we go back to the point of the language. So, and even if you know how to use computers and how to use the digital services, again, the issue of the language. The other challenges are not having someone to help you. So
they don't know where to ask or to who.
yeah, and for example, if you don't have family members here, or if you don't have friends who might help you also book appointments or go with you somewhere, that's very challenging. So you will end up be reliant on interpreters. I mean, fine in many cases, but there are many other cases where the experience has been very, very challenging with interpreters. That is, for example, some interpreters, they intervene in the conversation. They start telling the client, in this case the immigrant, the older immigrant, or the immigrant with dementia, they start telling them, oh, don't listen to him or her. I'll tell you what to do. It's like they act like they know better than the staff. Yeah. Or they become judgmental. Like, why are you doing that? Why did you do that? So here, the client becomes hesitant to seek the help of interpreters.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's challenging also. And it can be problematic, yeah, in these cases.
And is it better if the person who helps is family member?
It can be a facilitator, yeah, to have a family member, but we can't say 100% this is always the case, because in some cases there is abuse from family members.
What do you mean by that?
For example, you're reliant on your family member, let's say, to go seek services, for example. You gave power of attorney to your family member. There could be financial abuse. They control your money.
Okay.
You don't have choices. You can't do much because you don't know what to do. So you are in a weak position in this case. So there are cases like that. But according to the results I have so far, it's not very frequent, but it happens.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
surprising. When they just arrive to the country, is no one helping them to know where to go or to help them in their basic needs?
Well, that's a good question. Well, if they arrive as refugees, usually they are helped in the reception center, but they are not told about their rights and where to seek help and care and these things, regardless if they are refugees or not. So they are not told about this information. And this is also a challenge, not knowing your rights and where to go. And also, there are cases where they are thrown back and forth in the system. Like some employees don't know where to guide them or direct them. So they go from a place to a place. They are sent to a place and another. Like, it takes long time sometimes, a big struggle for them to reach, to get the services they need. Yeah, and as immigrants, there's also this issue of self-confidence. Like, some lack self-confidence just because they are immigrants. And it makes them hesitant to ask around.
Yeah, And the language barrier also.
That also, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
What do you think will you get out from your PhD?
The plan is to hope actually that to make immigrants less hesitant to seek care and support, and on the other side to make people who give services also to know what to expect of immigrants, to make them more like willing to offer services and not be afraid of different assumptions and stereotypes, because there's this sometimes I've come across that immigrants mentioned maybe based on their looks that the staff assume they don't speak Finnish, so they leave them behind. So there are these things that I hope this research will shed the light on, so it can be an eye-opener.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you are more now in the first stage defining the problem.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
but have you published anything?
No, the plan is to publish my first article before next summer 24, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there will be 3 articles.
Okay.
So this first article will tackle the challenges to seeking care and support among older immigrants and immigrants with dementia. The second will tackle the issue of stigma, discrimination, how the society treats immigrants, older immigrants and immigrants with dementia. And the third will tackle the autonomy and self-determination. Yes, so over a period of a year and a half, I'm planning to publish these 3 articles. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But then you will have to explain us more about
Sure, yeah.
this.
Yes.
So what's the contribution to the scientific community? I mean, like, what's the novelty of your PhD research?
You know, these 2 groups, the older immigrants and immigrants with dementia, they've never been researched in Finland.
Okay.
So this is completely new group. And I mean, it's very crucial. It's important to know about the situation of these 2 groups. So this adds to what the science is tackling, who the science is addressing, like the issues that the science is trying to tackle and solve. And also the theories that I selected and combined can be also, if I can draw a successful analysis out of that, so let's see
Hopefully.
if that's successful, others who are targeting the same groups, same context, whether in Finland or even abroad, they could use the same theories or maybe do some development, some adjustments based on that. So this can be contribution, I would say, to the scientific community in that sense, yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for this interview and time.
Yes, thank you.
And well, good luck with your first article. And it will be nice to listen more about how it evolves, this project.
Sure, thank you so much.
Okay.
And it was great meeting you.
Yeah, same.